Hello everyone and welcome to your reading skills session for Wednesday. So I'm going to crack straight on then and share my screen. And this one. Okay then, so just like we normally do, we are just going to start off by going over the words of the day. Now these do say the words of the day from last week, but they are from the last week of term. So have a little read through those and just familiarise yourself, remind yourself what those words mean. Then you can see if you can possibly pop those words into a sentence. You don't have to write them down, you can just say your sentence. So pause the video now and have a read through those. Okay, let's go through them then. So the first word was gift. So a gift is something that you give someone as a present, or you might even receive a gift. So Mrs. Razul gave every child a book as a gift. Maybe you've received a gift over the Christmas time. The next word was midnight. So midnight is 12 o'clock in the middle of the night. So it's 11:59 p.m., 1 minute until midnight. The next word was peace. So if you have a feeling of peace, you feel contented and you feel calm and not at all worried. You can also say that you are at peace. So Mr. Smith relaxed in his chair and he felt at peace. The next word then was tinsel. You might have had some tinsel on your Christmas tree. So tinsel consists of small strips of shiny paper that's attached to a long piece of thread. People use tinsel as a decoration at Christmas. So the tinsel was wrapped around the tree. And finally, bauble. You might have had some baubles on your tree as well. So a bauble is a small, cheap ornament or a piece of jewellery normally hung on a Christmas tree. So baubles of every colour were on the tree. Okay then, so just to explain about the reading skills for this week. So this week we're just going to be working on some comprehension activities just so we can practice using all of our different reading skills and just remind ourselves of what those skills are. So from next week we will be starting one of our texts from our reading spine, so looking at a book. We will be doing that from next week. Just from today until Friday, we're just going to be looking at a shorter piece of text just to remind ourselves of those skills that we look at during our reading skills lessons. But just before I start that, just have a think, what are the different reading skills that we have been looking at school? You can pause the video now if you want to and have a little think about those. Okay, let's whiz through them then. So the first one is our retrieval skills. So when we are retrieving something, that is when something is in the text, we are literally just picking it out. The next one is infer. So when we're using our inference skills, that's when something's not as obvious, okay? We do have to use past knowledge, we do have to look for clues. The next one is predict. So when we predict something, we don't always know what is going to happen next, but we do have a sensible guess about what you think might happen next. The next one is explain. So explain why something happened or explain what you think about something. We have vocabulary. So that's when we look at the different words within a text, what those words mean. And finally, sequence. So we usually sequence the story at the end. So that's when we're putting it into chronological order of how things happened. So we will be using a range of these skills between now and Friday when we look at our text. So as you can see then, I've got a little piece of text on the screens. This one's just a bit of a practice and we're going to do this one together. And this text is called My Big Brother JJ. So as you can see, I've got a little piece of text there for you. And the way I'd like you to do it is just to pause the video and have a go at reading it yourself. Remember to use your phonics, sound out any of those tricky words that you're not sure of. Then once you've had a read through it, just unpause it and I will read through it with you just to go over some of those words. So pause it now and have a go. Okay, let's have a look at that text together. So, my big brother JJ. I was happy. My brother JJ was happy. It was nearly half term. Then Mum rushed into the room. JJ, Jasmine, I need to talk to you about next week. I know it is holiday time, but I have to go to work, she said. I need to know that you can be a good girl for JJ. He will be in charge. So hopefully you were able to read through that. So these are just a couple of practice questions then. I'll talk through the questions with you, then you could maybe have a little go at answering those by yourself, and then I'll go through the answers with you. So the first question then says, why was JJ looking after Jasmine? So this one's multiple choice, so you've got a few options there. So was it because Mum was going to work? Was Mum going on holiday? Was it because Jasmine was ill? Or was it because Jasmine was going on holiday? So have a little think about which answer you think it is. Remember that one in your head. And then question B then of our practice ones is, who is telling the story? Okay, now if you need to go back and have a little look at the text, you can. So the first one then says, why was JJ looking after Jasmine? So if I have a little look through the text, it says, Mum rushed into the room. JJ, Jasmine, I need to talk to you about next week. I know it is holiday time, but I have to go to work. So the answer for that one that you should have selected was this top one. Mum was going to work. And the next question there is, who is telling the story? So we only know 3 people so far. We know that we've got a big brother called JJ. We have got a mum, and we have also got Jasmine. So have a think, who do you think is telling the story? So for that one, we should have said that it was Jasmine that is telling the story, because the story is called My Big Brother JJ. There we go. Hopefully you got those ones correct. Okay, so just like before then, pause the screen and have a go at reading the text. Then I will read it with you, and then we'll go through some questions together. Okay, let's have a look at that text together then. So read it with me if you'd like. On Monday, we had a very good day. We went to the fair in the park. I won a huge pink teddy. On Wednesday, we went to the circus in a big tent. It was so lovely. We saw acrobats swinging high above our heads. On Friday, JJ said, let's do something for Mum. She has been working all week. Can we do a picture in the garden? I asked. Okay, so let's have a little look at the questions for that piece of text there. So for this question here, it says draw 3 lines to show what Jasmine and JJ did on each day. Obviously you can't draw your lines, but you can just match those up there. You've got Monday, Wednesday and Friday, and your options are she did something for Mum, went to the fair, and then you've got went to the circus. The next question there said, what did Jasmine and JJ see at the circus? Okay, so like I said before, you can go back and have a little look at the text if you need to, but pause the screen now and have a go at answering those. Okay, we will go through the answers afterwards. So our next piece, just like before, pause the screen and have a little read of it before we look at the questions. Okay, let's go through that together. Let's find the paints, said JJ. Can we paint the shed wall? I asked. Yes, said JJ. It is a really boring colour. JJ fetched the steps. He said, these steps are a bit wobbly. I will paint the top bit. He climbed up and painted a basketball net and a red ball going into it. I painted some beautiful flowers and some grass. Okay, the questions about that bit then. Question number 3, why did JJ agree to paint the shed wall? So what did JJ say and why did he agree to paint the shed wall? And our final question of today said, why did JJ paint the top of the shed? Was it because Jasmine didn't like painting? Was it because the steps were dangerous? Was it because he knew what to paint? Or was it because Mum would like what he painted? So as I said, feel free to go back, have another read through it if you're not too sure, and then answer those questions there before we go through the answers. So pause the screen now. Okay, let's have a little think about those answers then. So the first question I asked you was to draw 3 lines to show what Jasmine and JJ did on each day. So hopefully you got those ones right. For Monday, they went to the fair. So you should have linked this one and this one. Wednesday, they went to the circus. And then it was on Friday that they did something for Mum. And I asked, what did Jasmine and JJ see at the circus? That bit there was a retrieval from the text. They saw acrobats, or you might have said acrobats swinging. If you put that, that is absolutely fine. Question number 3, there was quite a few reasons that you could have put for this one. So why did JJ agree to paint the shed wall? So you might have said something like JJ thinking that the wall looked boring and not liking the colour. So you might have said he said the colour was boring. It was a boring colour. It was dull because he didn't like the colour. So if you put any of those things, that's fine. You also might have put that he wanted to make the wall look better. You might have said, so it would be more colourful, or he wanted it to look nicer. If you put any of those things, you've got that absolutely right. Well done. And finally, for question number 4, why did JJ paint the top of the shed? I've actually ticked that one wrong there. That one should have said because the steps were dangerous. Because if we go back to the text, JJ fetched the steps. He said, these steps are a bit wobbly. I will paint the top bit. So for that one, we should have ticked this one here. The steps were dangerous. So if you got that one right, well done. So tomorrow, we will be continuing with this same piece of text. Just like today, I will be showing you a piece of text. I'll get you to pause the screen so that you can read it, and so on, and we'll go through the answers afterwards. Hopefully you've enjoyed that, and I will see you guys again tomorrow for reading skills. Thank you very much.